They came, they saw, they stood. That's exactly what the Royal Canadian Mounted Police did when a bunch of Khalistani supporters attacked an Canadian Indian journalist. 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪 suffered rib injuries and the RC MP was just standing by and watching. This was at a demonstration in Ottawa, Canada. Then what has happened is similar things took place in Vancouver, where they were roughed up. Some of the supporters, in fact, some employees of the Consulate of India were roughed up in Vancouver. And you already know about what happened in the San Francisco Consulate. I told you that in March 2023, two miscreants tried to set fire to the Consulate building at 4 a.m. And luckily, there was rain for the last several days, so it did not catch fire. And the event was caught on CCTV and the data was sent to the appropriate channels, and there were a lot of apprehensions. And at least for now, that part has been quietened. However, there are other things that need to be probed. For example, when the Indian Consulate approached the San Francisco City Police for help, they were saying that, well, we are short-handed. A lot of things happened before the actual event took place. In fact, if you remember, there were 2 or 3 tents right in front of the consulate, and they were holding up traffic. They were making all kinds of statements, harassing people, and you know this thing. I've covered this extensively. What happened is that some of the more serious matters have been handled in the United States by a combination of local police and the FBI and the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security. That is the big picture. There were 2 gangs and both gang leaders were apprehended. You saw that. I told you about the 20 plus arrests that took place. However, the key point remains. Who are the guys who attacked the Indian Consulate building, whether it was in San Francisco or the various consulates in Canada? I think in Canada it is High Commission. I could be wrong. I mean, most important thing is that particular building happens to be property of India. Now, the National Investigative Agency is going to be probing those 2 attacks also. That is the attacks in the United States and in Canada. I already told you that they are probing what happened in United Kingdom. So this is a second level of activity that the National Investigative Agency is following, because there have been many reports of people committing atrocities in Punjab or in other places in India and then somehow fleeing and coming and landing in United States as well as Canada. A reliable estimate says that close to 1,500 illegals from India are getting into Canada and through United States. And some of them stay in the United States, some go on to slip into Canada. How is this happening? Many truckers, it is believed, have been helping people cross, because there are what is called as coyotes who will bring people up to the border, and then somehow they'll allow you to slip into the United States, and then somewhere they are hooking up with these truckers, and the truckers then take them to various places. Now, if you look at some of the videos that we had shown during the time the protests were taking place in San Francisco, many protesters were trying to hide their face like this when videos were being taken. Why? Because these are illegals. They know that if their faces are captured, then they are in trouble. Well, fear not, they are in trouble now. NIA is going to go and look at each and every video that they can lay their hands on. There's copious amounts of data available, and that will basically determine who has been coming in. And now there is a fairly extensive computerized database, and they are going to be apprehended. I don't know the exact procedure. Once the NIA determines how many of them need to be booked under the UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, because the incident took place in Indian Consulate, Indian property, that is in front of the Consulate building. So a lot of difficult times ahead for all these miscreants, and once and for all, these people need to learn a lesson. You can't just blindly go and try to attack consulate employees, break down furniture, try to set fire to the building. All these things are a no-no. This is run the course. It's enough. And for for effective handling, this is the right way, because the National Investigative Agency has a lot more information about some of these miscreants, and they will be dealt with in the firmest possible way, I hope. Because I say I hope, because there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. Many times people are caught, but the conviction rate needs to be right up there. I'm told the NIA conviction rate is quite high, so I'm hoping that even in this case, justice will be done, because the people, the common people, it doesn't matter which community, they were all getting, harassed. There were some times when Khalistani supporters will descend upon events like India's Independence Day events and harass people. School children were being harassed. School children were being told that Khalistan is a concept. I've told you that also. In a 5th grade demonstration, somebody had written up some nonsense. It was the parent who did it. The child didn't know all about that. Why are you, feeding children with poison? So anyway, so all these things now have a consequence, and these things will now be examined in much more detail, and I'm hoping that this will put this menace to close once and for all. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Do read the references that I have supplied, because I have given you some video links of PGurus itself on how these things happen from that time frame.